Today we're going to talk about shelter. Shelter does several things. It protects us against the elements from the outside world, because if we're not in our homes, we're going to need to have some type of shelter to protect us. It protects us against losing our body heat. That escapes quickly if we don't have adequate shelter. It protects us against, it provides a sense of privacy, and it's a grounding point, and it also gives us protection against emotional stress, having adequate shelter. So let's talk about some things. The tent would probably be the home in your pack. You can't put an RV in your 72-hour kit. So the tent, what I like to do is store my family tents, the big family size, or at least the pop-up tents, next to the 72-hour kits, because they won't fit in the kit itself. But in the kit, you can put a commercial tube tent or something similar, very small. This basically is just a tarp and string. And so if you grab a tarp and you have string, you can make something that's very similar to the tube tent. Bedding. So of course, when you go camping, it's always good to have a sleeping bag. Sub-zero temperature would be preferred. It takes up a lot of space. If you don't have that, you can get just a regular blanket, roll it up, put it on your pack. Probably won't fit in it, depends on which pack or container you're using. The best would be, of course, the wool blanket. Not comfortable, itchy, but wool clothing, wool blankets are best for emergency situations, because even when it gets wet, it keeps you warm. It's life-saving, even though it's not that comfortable. And of course, every kit needs one of these emergency space blankets, which takes up the least amount of space, but also provides the least amount of that. But it does preserve your body heat, that body heat trapped. All right, wet. We need to protect our skin from getting wet. If you have a garbage bag, just garbage bag in your kit for sanitation or for whatever purpose, this can double as a poncho. You just poke a hole in the bottom for your head and your arms, and it can preserve a lot of your, keep your core mostly dry and preserve that from that body heat from leaving. And of course, the hooded poncho that you can get, the real cheap ones that go in the kits, same thing, just sewn a little bit differently. I store just a regular real vinyl poncho in my car, so that there, if I'm in a situation in my car, and if I have to grab, if I'm taking my kit, I can grab it out and go with it. So, put it on my hip or whatever. The last thing is clothing. A lot of times this gets overlooked, but like I said, that body temperature loss is really important. And so if you get wet, you have to take those clothes off and put on warm, dry clothes. Wool, again, is preferred, the best. Cotton, and unfortunately all I have in my kit is cotton. I'm going to get wool someday, but maybe that's a Christmas option. The cotton clothes, if they get wet, it has a wicking effect, which kind of makes you wetter and get colder and allows the heat to escape. Not the best option. Again, wool. You also need to include an extra pair of shoes, footwear, a hat, or work gloves, or sunglasses, or a winter coat. Those things are really important when you need them. They're kind of a bulky burden if you don't, but better be safe than sorry. What I've done is I've consolidated all into a little kit. I've got everything that I just mentioned, minus the wool, the clothes, the shoes, the underwear, the socks, the footwear, I think I said that, work gloves, the coat, all wrapped up, and then I put it around a tarp with the string, and so it doubles as my tent as well. Just put that in your kit. All right, have some fun putting together your shelter.